Are Florida home builders really reducing incentives in today's housing market? That's exactly what we're going to cover today. Boom! Boom, we're live. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait a second, with the housing market slowing down and everything that I've read out there, I thought that builders were actually adding incentives and doing everything that they could to stimulate demand in order to sell houses right now. Now, I would tell you, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what most home builders are doing. But recently we had the opportunity to meet with a family, people just like you who found me on YouTube that want to live in South Florida. They want to max out South Florida living to the fullest, and they want to find their dream home and dream lifestyle. And they're in the process of doing their due diligence to figure out exactly where it is that they want to be. But they're 1000% moving to Florida because they're being relocated for work. And so they reached out, we connected, we got to understand what they were looking for and their timeline. And frankly, I think they're a little bit early in terms of searching for their dream home and dream lifestyle. Now, it's never too early to put a game plan in place. But if your timeline is a year from now, then chances are that anything that you're looking at on the market right now is not going to be available a year from now. And truthfully, if the property is priced the right way, it's probably not going to be on the market for much longer to begin with. Which does not mean that you shouldn't start shopping, but you should be mindful that if you're looking to move a year from now, you're just starting very early. But these folks are coming down from New Jersey. They're somewhat familiar with the area. They've got the lay of the land. They know where they're going to be working. And they wanted to do some due diligence to get a feel for the areas that exist down here in South Florida. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about every city that exists within South Florida, then please opt in for our city/relocation guide, and it will tell you everything that you must know about every city in South Florida. And then from there, if you want a more immersive, comprehensive feel of what each area is like, then please check out the neighborhood tours that exist within the channel. Because I've done tons of content featuring almost every city that exists to make your due diligence that much easier. Which brings me back to this nice couple that we met that wanted to do some due diligence and wanted to explore the area and get a feel for where they might want to live. And one of the areas that they were very interested in happened to be Westlake. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you've likely heard me talk about Westlake and some of the pros and cons about living there. And if you haven't, well then please subscribe to the channel now, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and this way you will never miss out on any content that I do moving forward. But I digress. Westlake is a great community and there's all kinds of new construction that's happening right now. And as I've mentioned in the past, in Westlake, you get a lot more bang for your buck. So I know that the homes that they're looking at, based on what they've told me, are probably going to check all the boxes for exactly what they're looking for. But I also know they're not quite ready yet, which it's possible may line up with their timeline. Because the truth is, any home that they might be interested in purchasing is probably going to take a year to build to begin with. But full disclosure, this was a discovery tour. This was not a let's go buy a house tour. And so off they went with one of my teammates to go and tour this unbelievable area. And my suspicions were right. They fell in love with the community. And they are very interested in considering buying a home. Which leads me back to exactly where I started, which is, are home builders really reducing incentives in today's market? I would say absolutely not. They're not reducing incentives. If anything, they're going to be increasing incentives to ensure that they continue to be able to move product as demand shifts. But hold the phone. CPI numbers came out. Let me not get too ahead of myself as far as demand is concerned, because CPI numbers just came out. And inflation was lower than expected. It looks like we've got a pattern of inflation moderating. Wall Street was expecting 7.3% inflation, and it turns out we only got 7.1%. Woohoo! We're off to the races, right? Well, I don't think we exactly get a cookie for 7.1% inflation, but for the second consecutive month, we've got inflation moderating. Now, I've talked a lot in the past about where I expect mortgage interest rates to be at some point next year. And I think they go a hell of a lot higher than they are right now. And I've gone out there and said I think they'll be 10%, which may sound crazy unless you remember the fact that interest rates were in the 10% range for almost 30 years. And I suspect we're going back there. But we're not going back there tomorrow. But for now, inflation appears to be going in the right direction relative to expectations. And there's certainly a whole heck of a lot that can happen between now and when these clients might want to buy a home. Which leads me back to the original question, which is, are home builders reducing incentives in today's market? Because that's exactly what my client asked me. Because after we went on our discovery tour, this nice family decided to go back the next day and check out some of the model homes and do a little bit more discovery on their own. And while they were there, the sales rep for the builder proceeded to inform them about the incredible incentive that they're running only in December. And that if they were to sign up before the end of the year, they would get double the incentive than they would get in January. And so obviously my client called me up immediately and asked me if that was true. And what I told him was, yes, I suspect it is true. And here's why. Because the builder wants to get this inventory off their balance sheets by the end of this year. And the sales rep has a financial incentive and will be rewarded financially if he can book the deal by the end of this year. I suspect the builder's accountant can do whatever they want to window dress 2022 by making these deals happen right now. But come January 1st, they've got a full year. So I know for certain that this sales rep is doing everything they possibly can, and the builder is doing everything that they possibly can to incentivize the market to buy their inventory right now. And come January, as the sales rep said, I do suspect that they will slash that incentive in half. But that's just for January. February, March, April, May, June, July, the rest of the year, who knows what incentives they're going to deploy to incentivize the market to buy their inventory. And yes, it's possible that we're in for a softer landing based on some of these inflationary numbers that we've seen, but 7.1% to me is not a win, and I don't think it really changes anything. I just think we happen to have a little bit less inflation based on massive tightening of Fed policy. But come 2023, if the pain of recession is what I think it's going to be, and we start to see joblessness and layoffs happen the way I expect they're going to, well, then chances are at the back end of next year, you're going to see builders doing whatever it takes to move inventory. Now, to be perfectly clear, I'm talking about one builder in my market. There are plenty of other builders in my market that are not reducing incentives anytime soon. And if you're not in my market and you're in some other place within the country, I know that there are tons of builders that are doing whatever they can right now to get in front of the bad things that are coming next year. And they're doing all kinds of incentives to stimulate buyers to sign on the line that is dotted right now. So there's never been a better time in some of these other markets to get hyper aggressive negotiating with these builders, to buy down your rate, to pay your closing costs, and to upgrade the home, which is why it is absolutely imperative and critical that you work with the real estate professional that knows how to negotiate on your behalf. And if you're shopping in South Florida, I hope you will give me a call because we want to go out there and get you the best deal possible. And even if you're not in my market, we want to connect you with a real estate or mortgage professional that we know, like, and trust that can serve and support you at the highest level and get you exactly what you want despite economic conditions. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please opt in for a referral now and we'll get you set up right away. And please check out my next video because I suspect you will love it a lot. And until next time, peace!